What is the single habit that separates the broken mind from the brilliant one? They are both talking to people who are not there. One is lost in a delusion. The other is downloading the future. Which one are you? You are alone. You are in the sanctuary of your car, or the steam-filled silence of your shower, or the empty hallway of your house at 2 a.m, and the silence breaks, not from the outside, but from the inside. A voice begins to speak. It is your voice, but it sounds different. It sounds authoritative. It sounds urgent. It sounds like a commander addressing a fleet. You are explaining a unified theory of everything to an empty room. You are winning a debate against a philosopher who died 300 years ago. You are verbally deconstructing a complex problem at work, moving the pieces around in the air with your hands like a conductor leading a phantom orchestra. The words are flowing fast. The logic is crisp. You feel a surge of power. You feel the electricity of pure cognition firing through your nervous system. And then, you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, or you see a pedestrian looking at you through your car window, and the spell breaks. The shame crashes down on you like a bucket of ice water. You freeze. You shut your mouth. You look down, and the internal monologue begins its assault. I am crazy. I am losing my mind. Normal people do not do this. Society has trained you well. From the moment you were a child in school, you were told to be quiet. You were told that talking to yourself is a sign of instability. It is a sign of the fragmented mind. It is a sign of the outcast. So you learned to suppress it. You learned to trap the voice inside the bone cage of your skull. You learned to suffocate your own processing power to fit into the silent politeness of the herd. I am here to break that conditioning. I am here to tell you that your shame is a lie, and your silence is a tragedy. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You are not losing your mind. You are using it. Talking to yourself is not a glitch. It is a feature of high-performance hardware. It is the hallmark of the genius, the visionary, the non-linear mind. Albert Einstein was caught repeating sentences to himself while walking to the patent office. Nikola Tesla spoke his inventions into existence before he ever drew a schematic. Steve Jobs had walking meetings with himself to refine his reality distortion field. The greatest minds in human history did not just think thoughts. They spoke them. They externalized them. They breathed life into them. And today, we are going to explain why. We are going to validate your mutterings with hard neuroscience and deep evolutionary psychology. And we are going to teach you how to stop hiding your voice and start using it to build an empire. Welcome to the psychology of the externalized mind. Welcome to the Watchtower. Let us begin with the biological necessity of the act. Why does the high IQ brain need to vocalize? To understand this, we must look at the architecture of working memory. Psychologist Alan Baddeley developed the model of working memory. He identified a component called the phonological loop. This is the part of your brain that deals with spoken unwritten material. It acts as an inner ear and an inner voice. The average mind is linear. It processes information in a straight line. A leads to B leads to C. It is quiet. It is efficient. It fits neatly inside the skull. But your mind is non-linear. It is a web. It is a storm. It is a fractal. A leads to Z, which connects to a memory from 1999, which solves a math problem, which reminds you of a color. You have multiple threads of thought running simultaneously. Your cognitive load is massive. Think of your brain as a computer. You have limited RAM, random access memory. This is where you hold thoughts while you are working on them. If you have a high IQ, you are running 10 heavy applications at the same time. If you keep all of that data inside the RAM, the system crashes. It slows down, it lags, it overheats. Talking to yourself is cognitive overloading. You are moving the data from the RAM to the hard drive. The hard drive is the physical world. By speaking the thought, you make it concrete. You give it a physical form in the air. You are taking the abstract chaos of your mind and turning it into a tangible object that you can look at. You can hear it. You can manipulate it. You are not talking to yourself because you are lonely. You are talking to yourself because your internal processor is full, and you need to export the data to clear space for the next breakthrough. This is why you do it when you are stressed, or when you are solving a difficult puzzle, or when you are trying to find your keys. Your brain realizes it is running out of processing power, so it recruits the broker's area, the speech center. It says, "Help me hold this thought while I work on the other one." It is a force multiplier. Studies have proven this. People who talk to themselves while performing a search task find objects 50% faster than those who stay silent. You are not crazy. You are optimizing. You are using your mouth as a second brain. We must dig deeper into the history of consciousness. We must discuss the theory of the bicameral mind, proposed by psychologist Julian Jaynes. He theorized that early humans did not have consciousness as we know it today. They had a bicameral mind, a mind divided in two. One part of the brain spoke, the other part listened and obeyed. They experienced their own higher cognitive functions as the voice of a god, or a spirit, or an ancestor. When they needed to make a difficult decision, they would hear a voice command them, and they would act. As consciousness evolved, the voice moved inside. It became the I. It became the internal monologue. But for the outlier, for the visionary, the I is too small to contain the flow of information. The inspiration feels too big to be just a thought. It feels like a download. It feels like a transmission. When you talk to yourself, you are tapping into this ancient bicameral state. You are separating into the commander and the soldier. You are channeling the muse. You are letting the information flow through you without the filter of the social ego. It is a sacred state of flow. It is the state where the great poets wrote, where the prophets spoke, where the generals planned their wars. Society calls it madness because society fears what it cannot control. A person who listens to their own voice is dangerous to the herd because they are not listening to the shepherd. They have their own guidance system. They have their own God, and that God is their own potential speaking back to them. Let us look at the psychological tool known as self-distancing. Pay attention to the pronouns you use when you talk to yourself. Do you say, "I need to do this"? Or do you use your own name? "Come on, John, you can do this." Or do you use you? Why did you say that? You need to focus. This shift from I to you is critical. It is called Solomon's paradox. King Solomon was famous for giving wise advice to others, but his own life was a mess. We are all Solomon. We are brilliant at solving other people's problems, but we are terrible at solving our own. Why? Because when it is our problem, we are immersed in it. We are drowning in the emotion, the fear, the anxiety. When it is someone else's problem, we are detached. We can see the logic. We can see the solution. When you talk to yourself using the second person you are hacking this paradox. You are tricking your brain into thinking you are advising a friend or commanding a subordinate. You remove the ego from the equation. You shift from the subjective view, "I am failing," to the objective view, "the subject is struggling." This instantly reduces anxiety. It lowers cortisol. It allows you to access your executive function. This is what elite athletes do. Watch a tennis player after a bad shot. They are muttering. They are coaching themselves. Get your head in the game. Move your feet. They are not crazy. They are the coach and the player simultaneously. If you stop talking to yourself, you fire your own coach. and you leave the player alone on the field with no guidance. Never fire the coach. Let him speak. Let him shout if he has to. We must discuss the concept of the feedback loop. Your brain learns through a loop. Input, output, correction. When you think a thought silently, it is ghostly. It has no texture. It has no weight. It is easy to miss the flaws in the logic because the thought evaporates before you can inspect it. When you speak the thought out loud, it enters the physical world. It travels through the air as a sound wave. It hits your eardrum, and it goes back into your brain as a sensory input. You are literally hearing your own thoughts as if they were spoken by a stranger. This allows you to audit them. This allows you to debug the code. You say something out loud, and immediately your brain says, "Wait, that sounded stupid," or "Wait, that argument has a hole in it," or "Yes, that is the truth." You are using the air as a testing ground. This is why writers read their work out loud. The eye can be fooled. The ear cannot. The ear detects the false note. The ear detects the weak logic. You are talking to yourself to perfect the idea before you present it to the world. It is the rehearsal before the performance. The average mind just walks onto the stage and hopes for the best. You are in the dressing room running lines. That is the difference between an amateur and a professional. Think about computer programmers. They have a technique called rubber duck debugging. When a code is broken, they carry a rubber duck, and they explain the code to the duck, line by line. They do not do this because the duck knows how to code. They do this because the act of articulation forces the brain to slow down and organize the data. Usually, halfway through the explanation, the programmer will stop and say, "Aha, I see the error. The answer was not in the duck. The answer was in the voice." You are the programmer of your own reality. And sometimes, you need to explain the code to the empty room to find the bug. Let us look at the social isolation of the genius. Why do you have these elaborate conversations with invisible people? You interview yourself on a talk show. You explain your philosophy to a dead historical figure. You argue with a person who isn't there. This is simulation theory applied to socialization. Your mind craves a peer. But as we have discussed, peers are rare for you. The people around you are talking about the weather or the football game. You want to talk about the nature of consciousness or the geopolitical shifts of the next century. Since you cannot find a worthy conversation partner in the physical world, you build one in the mental world. You are creating a sparring partner. You are simulating the counter-arguments. If I say this, they will say that. Then I will say this. You are playing 4D chess against a ghost. This prepares you for reality. When the real argument happens, you have already won it 10 times in the shower. You are not hallucinating. You are wargaming. It is strategic planning disguised as madness. Do not let anyone tell you this is sad. It is not sad. It is adaptive. It is your brain refusing to atrophy in a world of shallow conversation. You are keeping your blade sharp by sharpening it against a stone of your own making. If the world will not give you a challenge, you must create one. Let us look at the metaphysics of speech. In almost every magical and religious tradition, creation happens through speech. In the Bible, God said, "Let there be light." In the occult, Abracadabra translates to "I create as I speak." Words are creative. Thoughts are potential. Speech is kinetic. When you speak your vision out loud, you are casting a spell. You are collapsing the wave function of possibility into a single reality. By saying, "I am going to build this empire," you are vibrating the air with your intent. You are programming your subconscious mind to hunt for the opportunities that match your words. The silent wish is weak. The spoken command is strong. You talk to yourself because you are a creator, and creators need to hear the sound of creation. You are the architect describing the cathedral to the empty air. Eventually, the stone will follow the word. The reality will conform to the speech. But it starts with the lonely voice in the empty room. So how do we harness this? How do we stop feeling ashamed and start using this superpower consciously? We need a protocol. We need to ritualize the monologue. Protocol 1, the morning briefing. Stop doing it unconsciously. Do it consciously. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror or sit in your car and have a meeting with yourself out loud. Okay, what is the mission today? What are the threats? What is the strategy? Talk through the day. Hear your own voice setting the agenda. This is not affirmations. Affirmations are soft. This is a military briefing. The voice of command sets the tone for the neurology. When you hear the command, you obey the command. Protocol 2, the emotional vent. When you are angry, do not suppress it, and do not dump it on someone else immediately. Go to your car, or a private room, and rant. Scream. Argue with the invisible enemy. Say all the vicious things you want to say. Get the poison out of your system. Hear how crazy it sounds. Hear the rage, and then let it go. By vocalizing it, you discharge the energy. You realize that maybe you were overreacting, or maybe you find the caught Ruth in the rage. Once the pressure is released, you can go back to the person and have a calm conversation. You have saved the relationship by having the fight with yourself first. Protocol 3, the peripatetic walk. Aristotle taught while walking. Nietzsche walked to think. Movement plus speech equals flow. Go for a walk. Put in headphones so people think you are on a call. This is your camouflage. And then let it rip. Dictate your book. Plan your future. Solve the world's problems. The rhythm of the steps drives the rhythm of the thoughts. The oxygen fuels the brain. The voice shapes the chaos. This is your laboratory. Do not apologize for it. One final warning. Pay attention to the tone of the voice. Is it the voice of the critic or the voice of the coach? Are you saying, "You are an idiot. You always mess up"? Or are you saying, "Okay, that did not work. Let us try this"? The content matters. Self-talk can be destructive if it is abusive. You must train the inner voice to be a stoic coach, not a sadistic drill sergeant. When you mess up, speak to yourself as you would speak to a valued colleague. Correction, not condemnation. If you catch yourself spiraling into abuse, stop, say out loud, counsel that, and rephrase it. You have to overwrite the bad code with good code. And you do not do that by thinking. You do that by speaking the correction. We must address the stigma one last time. Why does society hate the self-talker? Because the self-talker is autonomous. When you talk to yourself, you are demonstrating that you do not need the tribe to validate your reality. You are self-sought. You are self-sustaining. This terrifies the herd. The herd wants you to depend on them for communication. If you can have a better conversation with yourself than with them, they become obsolete. So they shame you. Stop mumbling. Who are you talking to? They are trying to drag you back into the dependency of the collective. Do not let them. Your autonomy is your strength. The ability to entertain yourself, to soothe yourself, to coach yourself. This makes you unbreakable. If you are locked in solitary confinement, you will survive, because you are locked in with the most interesting person you know, yourself. So, the next time you catch yourself talking to yourself, do not cringe. Do not look around in shame. Smile. Recognize the hum of the engine. Recognize the spark of the genius. Say to yourself, "We are working on something big," and keep talking. Finish the thought. Win the argument. Solve the puzzle. The neighbors might think you are crazy. Let them. They are stuck in a silent movie. You are writing the script for a blockbuster. And every blockbuster starts with a writer reading lines to an empty room. You are not alone. You are simply in a high-level meeting with the only person intelligent enough to understand the plan. Yourself. We are Mind Ministry, and we are watching.